a certain someone or so, one of my chatters specifically, sent me someone got exposed or so. They got like a what is it 50 or 46 page Google document or so, and I read the entire thing. I read the entire thing. I passed out, of course, because I was tired because of working out or so. But then once I woke up, I continued reading it. But apparently this person was a Twitch ambassador or something like that. I have no idea who this person is, really, to be honest. But like when I was reading the Google document, I was like, man, you it kind of like, I guess you could say it, I guess he was like, from what I specifically read, right? It sounded like he wanted to have two people in a relationship. Like it kind of alluded to it, but it wasn't confirmed, right? Because he kept saying, because he kept saying specifically that's like, oh, like he like posted out on a tweet or so or something like that. Specific is like, oh, or he spoke to one of his friends or so in private DMs, um saying that like, oh, I just want a female or so, like, who will love me and care for me, and blah 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 blah, right, he's trying to find the one, okay, as basically is what it was, right? But then like, but the weird part about it is that there was a VTuber who did confess to him, but then he doesn't reciprocate the feelings back to her. So then it just kind of like ended very weirdly, or it was kind of something like that specifically. And then he has some weird thing where he just kind of like like analyzes people and calls everyone uh damn, what did he call people? Oh damn, I don't remember specifically. But like I guess you could say like he was trying to say like, oh, you like, oh, like he would psychoanalyze people, right? He would analyze people when he interacts with anybody. He'll analyze them or so, specifically like the way how they speak, the way how they like the mannerism and all this other shit, and the way how they interact with him, right? If I'm in a perfect world, I can get two girls too. No, you cannot get a harem. There's only one person who managed to get a harem or so. It's this one Japanese guy who has like what, 6 wives or something like that? 7. He's working on a 7th wife or something like that. So I don't know how he's managing to do it, but I guess if a guy in Japan can do it, I guess there's a will or a way. But I don't think that works on the Western side, to be honest. um. Hey lad, how you doing there, hun? So, I think like I don't remember exactly the word that he used specifically, but he would like tell people, it's like, "Oh, you have ADHD, or or I think it was like neurodivergent or something like that." I think that's what he said. I don't know. It's been like a hot minute since I read it, because I read it I read it on Saturday, I think, or Friday night or something. It was either one of those 2 days that I specifically read the entire document itself, and I was like, huh, interesting. But I've seen the so apparently Rev has uploaded a video specifically talking on the situation itself on the Twitch ambassador. Yeah, I have to say, like, oh yeah, oh yeah. Also, the one thing I remember from the document too, I remember this too. I remember this specifically. One of the girls or so, I guess, visited him or something, because like he said something about like he was in the shower with a VTuber, with the VTuber girl that confessed to him, and then he says it to the person that wrote the document or so, or something like that. I remember specifically reading something like that he was in the shower so with the VTuber girl. And I don't know, that was pretty much about it. That's the one thing I do remember from that document. But Let's take a look at it real quick and see what we need to know about it. So I don't really know who this person is, right? He's some VTuber, right? He has a frog. He has like a frog for a VTuber, so it's like a little mascot or so for a VTuber. And I think if I remember correctly, I think he's friends with Zentrea, I think. Because I think I saw it specifically in the DMs or so from the Discord, from this Discord screenshot. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna be playing Apex with Zen or so. Do you want to join us?" And then the girl said, "No, I can't join you because I don't have Apex downloaded, but I have Valorant or something." And then he immediately changes it and says, "Okay, I'm getting on Valorant then." And I'm just like, "God damn, Jesus Christ." But but yeah. Anyways, let's take a look, shall we? You know, let's take a look.
Hey, what's up, guys? We're here. So today we're gonna be dealing with a pretty crazy situation.
Oh yeah, there it is. That's his name. That's his name. Evil Toaster, Paper Frog VTuber. Yeah, this is the dude. This is the guy. Yes, this is the guy. This is the one. This is the one dude or so. Yep. He's a Twitch ambassador. How the fuck do you become a Twitch ambassador?
Involving this individual named Evil Toaster, who is a Paper Frog VTuber and also a Twitch ambassador. Now, I'm going to give you a too long didn't read version of events before we get into the details.
Wait. Ambassador Frog VTuber Apex /FPS /variety gamer autistic /ADHD non-binary gender fluid. Oh right, I think if I remember correctly, he tweeted out something like he's not part of the girls or so. He doesn't hang out with the girls or anything like that, or something like that specifically. Like he tweeted out something like that. Like he was like, cause like he's like, oh, I never get to hang out with the girls or something like that, something specifically like that.
Basically, this individual tries to take credit for
When
a
you could
very
be monkey.
disliked Twitch feature that has been recently released. He gets angry at the criticism, kind of melts down, and then people start digging into their account, and eventually a 57-page Google Doc is dropped on them. Somewhere in there, there's a lesson, I'm sure, but let's begin with this part right here. So, innocently enough, this begins with a new Twitch feature that was released, and it's called the knock feature. Basically, what this does is allows people to make like a one-sided invitation to other people's streams. They can pull up to your stream and use the knock feature to say, so-and-so wants to collaborate with you, and it pops up in your chat. Only the streamer can see it, but you see that someone is requesting to collaborate with you. Now, this has been heavily disliked. People don't like this. Number one, it's not necessary. Like, if you want to collaborate with someone, figure that out on your own terms and on other platforms before stream. And also, it puts people in a very awkward position. It seems like this is a very invasive practice where people can send you these.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not know this was a feature, to be honest. I don't really keep up with any of like the features and stuff on like at least the new features. Like this is brand new to me. I have not heard. I literally have not heard anything about this specifically about the weird knock thing or whatever it's called or so. It's such a weird feature. Like it's so unnecessary. I've never heard of it, to be honest. VTubers now become Tinder. Even this platform is not safe anymore from a weirdo. You guys will see. You guys will see.
Pressure on you. It's a one-sided invitation that you got to make a yes or no decision on the spot. And some people would look at that and say, declining that might make me feel like I'm being rude in the situation. So it puts a little pressure on them to say yes to a collaboration.
Why would it be pressure on anyone saying yes or no, or just saying no on it? You know, if you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it. You know. What? That's kind of weird. You know, if I see someone trying to collab with me or so with something like this, I'd be like, no, I just want to do, you know, I just want to do my own thing right now at this very moment. So yeah, like I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of weird, in my personal opinion.
They might not want to do in the first place. And on top of that, as Shiloh here points out, this feature is not something you can opt out of. Everyone on Twitch has this feature now, and also none of the filters are automatically applied. You have to do it yourself. So literally anyone can send you this knock request and try to collaborate with you, which can obviously be misused It's invasive, and you can harass and annoy people with this.
Yeah, I can kind of see that, you know. I can go annoy Lideo when he's playing Wukong or so, and he's in the middle of a boss fight, and I could just ask for a collab. And be like, "Hey, what you doing? What you doing? Oh, I see you having a tough dive over there."
And if you apply the correct filters, only people you add as a favorite can do that. But that's not
Yeah,
how it is
yeah,
initially.
yeah.
You have
Knock,
to go
knock.
and
You
set
want to
that for
collab?
yourself.
I understand you're having a tough time with this boss or so, and you're raging really hard. But I want to collab with you.
Now, perhaps not reading the room, Toaster would go on to Twitter and basically claim responsibility for this tool coming to life, saying this: "Now when people ask me what does being a Twitch ambassador mean, I can say I told them to make this feature, and they actually hecking did it. They actually hecking did."
Wait, he's the person that suggested this feature? Eh.
It Reddit, did you hear that? But anyways, eventually in the replies, Toaster would tag Zentreya from VShojo, and these two seem to have some sort of a friendship. They collaborate a lot together, especially in
Yeah. See, I told you, chat. I told you. I read the document or so because he brings up Zentreya's name or so in the Discord messages because he plays Apex with her. And oh, dude, this is kind of okay. I'm kind of curious what Zentreya thinks about the situation itself. I'm kind of like I'm very curious on that actually.
in recent months, and little did Toaster know that before they tagged Zentreya, Zentreya had already responded to the main post promoting this feature.
I think this is very intrusive and dangerous thing to add on to the platform as it can be used maliciously. I think I see what the idea was, but this was poorly and hastily executed. I would 100% say to remove this and go back before it's misused inappropriately or worse. Oh, there you go.
Saying this, I think this is a very intrusive and dangerous thing to add onto the platform, and it could
Not saying it related, but she took a break from streaming in this recent event. Wait, Zentreya took a break or so? Damn. I don't blame Zentreya, so, you know.
could be used maliciously. I think I see what the idea was, but this was poorly and hastily executed. I would 100% say
because what Rev specifically says, like apparently they collabed with each other, so they must have been like pretty good friends, you know, pretty good, you know, they had a pretty close knit relationship or so as friends or so. Interesting. That's very interesting.
Remove this and go back before it's misused inappropriately or worse. So clearly big disconnect right there on how to view this feature. But anyways, you could see the criticism because this feature was getting dogged on by everyone, even impartial people reporting on this saying this is...
Sorry, I cannot approach guest stars with neutrality. This update is awful. They're forcing it on everyone, and its permission structures by default allows anyone to call. You can turn it off. You can only pause for 1 hour, or this stream turns it back on every stream. Let's see. I'm not interested in collaborating. How do I turn this off? If you are not interested in collaborating, you can pause request in the new collaboration panel in Stream Manager. You can update this setting at any time before or during your streams. You can literally just set it to favorites only and add no favorites, bro.
This is a horrible update. And you can see that it's starting to get under Toaster's skin here, right? They're very proud of this feature, but everyone's dunking on it. You can see this reply here very...
There's a reason. Okay, I feel like because I never saw this, right? Specifically that he's like telling people, and like because he's seething over the, you know, that people don't like his thing that he recommended specifically. There's a reason why. When I was reading through the Google document or so, there was a specific pattern or so how he acted specifically when when he wants to like collab or so, or interact with other people, right? There was a specific pattern that he did specifically, and I'm just kind of curious if this had something to do with how he feels or so, you know?
Passive aggressive, saying you can
Get out of
literally
here,
just set
Dark.
it to favorites only and add no favorites, bro. And then here they would go back to their original thread and add these comments that a lot of people have been critical of, saying this: muted this a while ago because I ain't subjecting myself to y'all's brain rot. But if it wasn't obviously clear, me telling Twitch, please add better features for collabing and making collab organizing and communication easier is not the same as me deciding how exactly that is executed and then saying this. And the amount of people saying, no one asked for this, bro, none of y'all asked for anything. You actually need to grow on Twitch because you have no idea what you're doing. Collab content is proven to be extremely effective, but you refuse to engage in it because you're terrified of people. Yeah.
This is terrible because for me specifically, I don't collab with people, right? Like if they reach out to me, that's okay, right? You know, because that means they did the bare minimum, and and sent me a message to be like, hey, I want to collab with you, um I mostly don't do collaborations because the one of the main reasons, right? With Liddell, right? Liddell is different because I watched his content. I sat around multiple of his streams or so. Not just one or two or three streams, right? I sat in quite a few of his streams, you know. So I kind of like I kind of know a little bit about Liddell, and then I having to actually have an actual one-to-one conversation with him on that one specific day. It was really nice. It was very nice to reassure that, like, he is, he is who he is. So I don't really like go out and ask for collaborations ever since let me see. Like one of the specific ones, because I did had a bad experience with one collaboration in the past, of course. You know, is Bio. Hey Bio. Hey, thanks for the oh, what the fuck? Tier 2. What the fuck? For 2 months. Damn, man. Sheesh. Thank you, Urso. Welcome, Urso. But specifically, I don't really like, cause like one of the main problems, right, with the VTuber community itself, right? You just don't know who they are specifically, like behind the scenes, right? Because there's been multiple times where people get exposed or so. Hey man, my fucking twin brother got fucking exposed for being stupid, because the fame got to him, and then, well, Lord and behold, he lost everything. And then a friend of his that knows him specifically also got exposed on top of that, like a couple days later. And I'm just like, damn, VTubers getting exposed left and right here, And then now we have another one, which is Evo Toaster here, getting exposed on top of that. And it's just kind of like, there's just a lot of like I said, like I said specifically, right? There's just a lot of bad eggs specifically. Yeah, it's on the YouTube channel, so I'm not gonna go into it because I already talked about it before. Um, um, like I said, there's just a lot of bad eggs or so in the VTuber community because it's a new hot trend, right? They want to, they saw a lot of people being successful as a VTuber. They're jumping in on it specifically and trying to take advantage. And look, Lord and behold, like not even that long ago, like what, last week or earlier this week or so, I think so. We had a VTuber. We had like two specific VTubers or so, like getting mad over a video game match from Dead by Daylight, and they were like making fun of him because he had like less viewers because they're what is it? They were affiliated, right? Or Twitch partner or whatever. I don't fucking know. It's all the same shit to me. But and then they would make fun of his skin tone. Like honestly, like it's just like, and they're VTubers. And I think one of them is part of like some kind of like small organization or so that they created specifically. And it's just like, bro, what's wrong with you? Like, and then also on top of that, a VTuber commented or so saying like, oh, white people can't be oppressed or whatnot, or whatever other stupid thing that I keep hearing or so from these dumb people or so. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, they're so dumb. Just facts. It's just facts. These people are stupid, right? And they're VTubers. These are VTubers. You know, these are VTubers, and people support, watch them, follow them. You know, they do all of this stuff for them. You know, they donate and all this stuff, and it's just kind of like, really, you support these kinds? It's just like, come on, let's be honest here. Like, I wouldn't support someone who does these things, you know, making fun of some small streamer or so for no apparent reason, you know. Worst part about it is that you make fun of his skin tone just because he's white. It makes no sense. Honestly, makes no sense. The dude was actually being nice. He was a cool dude, you know. And it's just kind of like, bro, come on, it's not that deep. It's just a video game, man. Like, seriously. It's just like, come on, dude. Like, I don't know. That's why me specifically, I have a grime against the VTuber community, just because, you know, you just have these specific people, you know, you just have these specific people who are just kind of hiding, you know, in the VTuber community. You know, they just kind of have this like, you know, they just kind of like pretending, you know, to be goody two shoes or so, you know, but then like, you know, some of them have their, you know, get their masks taken off, you know, and they become who they actually are, you know, and well, Lord and behold, and that's what you basically get, you know. You know, the worst thing about it specifically is like a lot of people who like who also hate on like lolly VTubers. And it's just like, bro, it's not that serious, man. Like lolly stuff is not that crazy, you know. And like, just chill, go do your own thing. Leave the lolly VTubers alone. They're not doing anything. So shit, if I can do a lolly voice, I'd be a lolly VTuber any day of the week. Shit, but I'm not gonna do that though.
Yeah, not a very good look for a Twitch ambassador to be saying these things. I mean, on the one hand, they're right. You know, collabing can help boost your career and your growth, but that should be your decision. You should be able to decide if you want to collaborate with someone. It should be like a two-person agreement, not just one person shooting out a request live on stream that you have to decide on the moment whether to say yes or no. And this seems to be a reflection of boundary issues, and they don't really seem to understand that, but they kept getting criticized, especially for this tweet. It seemed very passive aggressive and snarky, basically saying all these people don't know what they're doing, but I know what I'm doing. And they would go live and they would title their stream "Guy Who Literally Ruined Twitch," obviously mocking the situation and any of the legitimate.
Yeah, I went to their Twitch page or so. They got like, yeah, they have like quite a lot of followers or so. They get about like at least more than 1K of views or so on their Vods, which is very interesting.
Criticism people had, especially in the VTubing scene. This was a hated feature in the VTubing scene, and clearly they didn't read the room and they didn't like the results that came from the criticism. But they would also have a lot of tweets dug up from their account that kind of explain why they would like this feature so much. So back in July of this year, they said this, referring to the online status.
Here it is. This is it right here. This specifically, I think, was in the document itself. I think if I remember correctly, this specific tweet was in there, and then there was, I think, like two other tweets as well.
Status on Discord. One time I actually checked, and no joke, less than 5% of VTubers in my friends list have online enabled. The status means nothing to me anymore. Crazy thing is I still don't get DM'd ever, even with a green light and putting "please DM me" in my status, so it doubly means nothing.
It's so weird. He just wants attention. Like that's what he wants. That's literally is what he wants, right? But like, it's so weird that he wants people to message him, like talk to him, you know? Like actually like DM. This is so weird. Like, cause the worst part about it is that he put it in his status, say, please DM me. You know? It's like, I don't know, man. It's just weird. It's like, come on, dude. You're a big shot. You're like a really, like, you're a Twitch ambassador. You're a big shot VTuber, you know? I just don't understand why are you being so needy, I guess. I guess that's like the answer. That's the word, I guess, you know? They're definitely being very I don't think this is the right term. I was gonna say a pick me girl, but it's not really that though.
So you can
It's just
see
they're
why
just
they would
very
like the knock
needy.
feature when they already have this issue with people setting boundaries with their statuses, basically saying, don't interact with me right now. Either they have an offline status or a do not disturb. They are setting a boundary saying, I don't want to communicate with people right now, and that makes Toaster upset. So you can see, again, why they would like the knock feature so much. It forces an interaction on someone who might not want it. And on top of that, you can see this very attention-seeking behavior with the please DM me in their status. Like, it's just kind of odd. And also, one of my viewers was able to discover this. So they say, can't believe that your idiotic addiction to Twitch is what made me discover you condone the Hogwarts Legacy harassment campaign, which...
Oh, oh, man, dude. Yeah, the Hogwarts Legacy.
Are we surprised? So here is a section of tweets. You can kind of read it for yourself, but...
Let me see. But I'm not transphobic, but the author is, and you literally cannot separate her from Harry Potter. But the devs did nothing wrong. They did actually. On top of just creating a game with anti-Semitism and slavery apologia as plot points. I'll put up a Trevor Project donut. What? But my trans friend said it's okay. Hello, I am trans friend. It's not okay. But I really, really like Harry Potter. If you are truly that adamant to where you can't be stopped, you can quietly just play the game by yourself without talking about it as an influencer. If you really gotta. My business model and livelihood requires me to give attention to games that may sell multiple millions of copies regardless of its content to get money. No one will actually admit that, but if you're really that honest, I would respect that slightly more. Still net negative though. Dude, what's wrong with you?
they were basically shooting down any of the excuses.
Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is someone who's just mentally ill, and they should not have a platform whatsoever, in my personal opinion. This is my personal opinion. They really shouldn't have gotten this popular. If this is how they think, this is how they speak, this is how they interact, and how they treat other people. In my personal opinion, they should have not be famous or got to where they're at, and should not have a platform. That's just my opinion. I think you should probably go get yourself checked in, and we'll see you in a couple months. So, or just get off the internet. In general, just get off the internet. Like, seriously, there's definitely something wrong with you. So,
or justifications people are making for playing this game. But this is the one I really want to look at. This is crazy. It says, I don't know if I'm in the mental state to be the kind of person to go and personally call out people for playing the topical wizard game of the week. But bro, let me tell you, if I see anyone I know stream that game, that will be going in your folder. Yeah, that's nuts. If you have folders on your friends, crazy. You need to log off immediately. You are taking this stuff way too seriously. Imagine being friends with someone and you commit the high crime of playing the wizard game, and all of a sudden now that is going into your folder that they have about you, the list of grievances and supposed wrongdoings you have done. That's a very strange practice.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong.
To have. But shortly after those tweets started flying around once again, you can see this Google Doc being dropped by a VTuber named Sierna. Now, this is a very extensive document talking about some of Evil Toaster's behaviors behind the scenes and also in public, and you can read the disclaimer for yourself on this document. There's two things I want to lay out here. Number one, for brevity's sake, we are just going to highlight the most relevant parts of this document, and on top of that, there is no criminal stuff, or at least something that looks criminal in this document. It is much more of an attempt by several people who have interacted with Toaster to share their experiences with him, and mainly the main highlight of what they're all saying is that he has no concern for boundaries. People set boundaries, he keeps pushing past it, whether it's romantically or through just...
Yeah, the romantic one is the massive one. That one is the biggest one, because when I read through the document itself, you know, he likes pushing the border to a new level, you know. He likes pushing the line even further, you know.
Just many different ways. It seems very apparent, and it explains again why they wouldn't understand the criticism of the knock feature. So let's begin with the main poster of this document, and they're sharing this part regarding intimacy and boundaries, where they say one of the first things Toaster will tell anyone is that he craves affection, mostly from women, from what I've seen.
Yeah, that's what he wants. He wants affection. But it's just like, but then like there was one who confessed to him. So it's just kind of like, it was like, I'm like, bro, there it is right there. There's a girl that will give you affection. I just don't understand, you know? I bet everyone in his friends list had a biography. Oh yeah, no, 100. Dude, you know what he did? He would literally analyze the people that he interacts with, right? For like 1 week or so. Like he'll psychoanalyze them, and then he'll send a message or so to them and be like, oh, this is what I think you are. So, you know, I've been analyzing you for, because like he sent a message to someone and he said, oh, I've been analyzing you for like about a week or so, and I come up with the conclusion that this is this, and this, and this, and that, and that. And I'm just like, what the fuck? It's so weird. It's such a weird behavior for you to message someone and say, oh yeah, I just been analyzing you for like a fucking entire week, and this is my conclusion of what I came up with you. You know, I'm just like, what? Why? Don't you have anything better else to do than trying to analyze somebody for like an entire week and then coming up with like, oh yeah, you know, you have ADHD or you're neurodivergent or whatever other shenanigans this guy says specifically.
So this is a screenshot of her conversations with Toaster. So to explain what's happening here in the context, apparently they were talking, and it became much more flirtatious between them. And Cece here says, hold on a second, I have a relationship with a boyfriend. I don't want to mess that up, so let's not go any further with this. And immediately Toaster responds with this, saying, if we got too close and you wanted more, we'd both have to deny ourselves something we'd want to explore. Which is odd after they just said,
Yeah. Dude, that sentence is wild for him to say that, to be honest.
don't want to explore that. And then she would basically repeat that, and again he would reply down here saying, I'm just thinking it would be a shame if it came to a point where we would have to hold ourselves back. Again, repeating the same thing that goes beyond what she wants. And then again,
dude, she has a boyfriend, bro, she has a boyfriend. She's already in a relationship. Dude, dude, it's just something about guys just cannot, like, like it's just guys in general just can't seem to understand and be like, hey, I'm in a relationship. We're not doing this weird flirtatious shit here, okay? All right? Like it's just so weird. Like I don't understand the way like he I don't understand why he just doesn't like understand to read the fucking room or so to be like, "Oh yeah, no, she's in a relationship, so yeah." Like even like for me, right? Like specifically cuz like I like doing loot stuff, right? Like, cuz I like interacting with like other VTubers and I'll sometimes do loot stuff, right? With other VTubers. It only depends if they're okay with it, right? If they're okay with it and they're also loot as well, right? So they can be lewd with me and then I can be lewd with them, we can kind of like bounce. We kind of like basically kind of like bounce back with each other. And but I won't be lewd to somebody if they're in a relationship. I'd be like, no, 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 no. I have way too much respect and integrity for myself, and I'm not gonna be some fucking. I ain't gonna be. I'm not gonna be in any in problems with anybody or so, especially if they're in a relationship. If they're single, that's fine. It's fucking all game. You can just have fun at the end of the day, right? You can just be flirtatious as much as you want. But once they specifically say he or she, right? They're in a relationship specifically. I don't do any of that stuff. I don't do any of that stuff. It's just a boyfriend. She's not married yet. They're still tired. Shut the fuck up.
Again,
You
she
are
says,
not
I
helping
just
the
hope you
situation
don't
here.
devalue me as a friend because I'm, limiting our connection here. Where Toaster replies again, saying, but the connection beyond just being respectful as content creators is so far very unique. And it's hard not to want to explore, basically going beyond just being friends and obviously something romantic or sexual or what have you.
What the dude? Dude, take a hint. Oh my fucking god, dude. No way. He's still pushing it? Dude, you can't be. You actually cannot be serious here, dude. Oh my god.
So you can see they get these boundaries placed by someone else, and they
Yeah,
constantly
cause I read all of this, right? But like, it was such a long fucking document. I'm gonna be honest with you, it was a long fucking document. I only know like I remember like bits and pieces of a lot of the things, but I remember reading this specifically, right? Cause like I know that like she's in a relationship, right? But for some apparent reason he just doesn't fucking take the hint or so that like, bro, she's in a relationship, so why the fuck are you, you know? Why are you saying this,
keep pushing past it. They keep trying to go past it, even if they are hearing what the other person is saying. And here's another example from an anonymous user.
Yes, I read this one too. His ego is off the roof. It's not even ego. It's just him fucking not understanding boundaries. Not gonna lie, man is acting like he's in a he's in a hentai expecting women just to spread their legs for him. Well, unfortunately, that's how my twin brother was and wanted to have two girls at once. I'm just saying.
Where I think this will explain a lot going forward. So apparently this person opened up to Toaster, shared a lot of personal stuff, and said, oh, you might be going to the same convention. If I see you at the convention, I would like to give you a hug. And that gets pushed. So first of all, they respond.
Okay, it's not just a hug, right? Right? It's not just a hug. He wanted to cuddle with her. So, it's not just a hug. He also requested for cuddles as well, You have to be thick-skinned to achieve happiness? Notes? Okay. All right, buddy.
With apparently some personal information about a completely unrelated person. But then they say not just that they would want to hug this anonymous person, they would also want to cuddle, which is obviously escalating the amount of physical contact. Like most.
And like I think if I remember correctly, she takes the conversation a little bit somewhere else, right? Because she doesn't reply to it. but then he still keeps pushing it, right? He still keeps pushing it that he would still want to have cuddles with her. So yeah, I remember this one.
Most people hug their friends, but they don't cuddle with their friends. I mean, it's obviously something additional.
Well, you don't cuddle with the homies? Well, you don't cuddle with the homies these days? Hey, Eric.
Where they ignore that. The anonymous person ignores that and tries to basically ignore any of these additional things. And it seems obvious that they just want to move on in the conversation and not have...
Silent means consent? Dark, I swear to God, you are not helping the situation here. You're making it 10 times worse. Also, who the fuck even cuddles a rando? Like, not even people in a relationship cuddle that fucking early. No, there's no problem. There's no problem with like really. No, the problem is like she's going to a convention, and then he says, "Oh, I would love to hug and cuddle you at the convention." So, because apparently they were gonna do, you know, because they were going to TwitchCon. Yeah.
And enjoy some epic gaming
Hey, Fallen Flame, how you doing there, hun?
Have this different direction they're going, where they then repeat again that they would love to cuddle them and also tell them how pretty they are. Now
he just doesn't know. He just doesn't know boundaries. That's it, man. He just doesn't know. He just does not know boundaries. He does not know how to read the room. He has this weird mentality to psychoanalyze people, which is the most weirdest thing about it, you know?
Now, I think a lot of this has to relate to this tweet. I think this tweet is pretty telling, but
Here we go. I read this one. This is the tweet that I told you guys about. Every convention is another reminder that I'm not one of the girlies, and I'm never gonna get that kind of treatment and affection they give each other, even though I try to connect with them. I've gotten better at dealing with the fact over time, but it still hurts to think about it. You want another reason why? You want another reason why specifically why he's basically trying to be a girl, right? And trying to have that like kind of like, you know how like when girls like, you know, VTuber friends or so, right? They meet at a convention, right? And if it's girls or so, they hug each other, you know, they give affection, they're just super happy, right? You know how it is, right? When you haven't seen that one friend of yours, in such a long time, and you're just super happy, you give some affection, you love, hugging and all this other whatever other shit. That's basically what he wants. That is basically what he fucking wants or so, was from the other girls, because he is gender fluid, right? He's gender fluid. I just recently learned about this, right? Where I think if I remember correctly, right, he can be a girl or he can switch to be a guy or so. But he sounds like a guy, and he acts like a guy, and he thinks like a guy. So he is a guy, but he identifies as gender fluid, but then he wants to be, part of the girlies, even though he's not. you kind of understand, basically. So like, yeah,
I'll explain more why this goes even deeper. So this is a tweet from back in July referring to conventions, just like the one they were trying to meet up at. It says, "Every convention is another reminder that I'm not one of the girlies, and I'm never gonna get the kind of treatment and affection they give each other, even though I try."
You never got a kiss from the homies, bro? Huh? I've seen that happen before, I've seen dudes give kisses to the homies. Shit, man, fuck. I've seen it. I don't know if this is a bad take, but I think at some point, at least, a fraction of responsibility should fall on the people he's affected or harassed for their own comfort. But of course, majority blame is rightfully on Toaster. Nah, this is on Toaster, bro. Like, come on, dude. Like, he's using. Look, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. He's using this gender fluid thing, right? To basically be a girl and be part of the girl gang, and do the girly stuff, you know? Like he's using the gender fluid or so to do this thing, you know? That's basically is what he's trying to that's basically is what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He ain't stupid, okay? I ain't stupid, okay? All right? I know exactly what he's doing. The gender fluid is supposed to be a protection blanket or so for him so he can get away with it, okay? All right? That's basically is what he's using. He's using it as a tool to do what he wants to do to, you know, do this, okay? All right? Let's be honest here, okay? That was his that's his whole shtick. That's his angle. That's how he's taking this shit, you know?
Try to connect with them. I've gotten better.
Yeah, it says it in his Twitter bio that he's gender fluid, so
At dealing with that fact over time, but it still hurts to think about. So number one, I'd like to remind you, I'm pretty sure this is a guy in his 30s, and it's
he's in his 30s. Oh no 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 no. Oh no no no. Oh no 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 no. Oh my goodness. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no 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 no. Oh Jesus.
a tweet that looks like something a depressed teenager would make. So yes, it's cringy. Like this tweet seems cringy because, you know, they're saying I'm not one of the girlies and all this stuff. But with this context, some additional screenshots from personal conversations, this kind of extends upon what they meant by that previous tweet, which I think gives it a much more serious and odd twist. Okay, so what they're saying in the
Here we go. I read this one. I expected this from a 15-year-old. I thought maybe he was early 20s, but 30s is just no. Man, dude.
DMs here is number one saying that they're not escaping the man class position, which is something I would expect a male feminist to say, right? They're saying that they can't, I guess, escape the perception that they are a man. And they are curious about how things would be different if they were perceived as a woman. Where they go on to say, which is just gonna make me think more about how things would be different otherwise. Who would I be closer to? Who would let me tell them more of my feelings? Who would let me touch them? There's
What the fuck? What the fuck? I forgot about that part. Holy shit. I completely I completely forgot about that. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Look, man. Look, I don't touch anybody. I'm sorry to like kind of like burst your bubble here, Toaster, but like I don't touch, you know,
place, trash.
you know, I don't touch people, you know, or any of that sort of nature, you know. Like I'll have a conversation with someone and I'll tell them about like, you know, what I'm feeling today or like, you know, or we're having like a serious conversation or something like that. But like I don't know where he's getting this perception from of like touching someone.
so many instances of this just seeing in front of me throughout my whole life where people I'm genuinely good friends with will stop me at a point where they let women they know go past. Can you wrap your mind around that?
Okay, so hold on, let me read this again. I'm generally good friends with will stop me at a point where they let women they know less go past. What was it? There's so many instances of this just seeing in front of me though my whole life where people I'm generally good friends with. Ugh, dude,
That's a very weird thing to say. So coupling this with their previous tweet, basically what they mean by saying that they're sad they're not one of the girlies is that they believe if they were perceived as a girl, they could go further. than the boundaries being set by these girls they're trying to fit in with. So
Yeah. Whoa. Whoa, Flame. Whoa, you didn't have to do that. Well, thanks for the thanks for 10 10? Yeah, 10 gift or so. You didn't have to do that or so. You just came out and hang out with us, man. But very much appreciated, so thank you. Yeah, so he wants to be a girl just so he can be with the girlies, and then wants to do lesbian stuff with the girls. Basically, like kind of go beyond the boundaries. You know, that's basically is what he's trying to do. You know, that's his game. That's his what he's specifically trying to aim for. You know. Skibbity Riz. Oh god. I don't watch any of that skibbity stuff, so. God, this sounds exactly like the men becoming trans to go for women's bathroom kind of shit. Thanks for the gift. Hey Shiki. Okay, so he's either Delulu or porn is an accurate depiction of real life. Oh, it's a guy who is gender fluid or so, and he's upset that he's not part of the girlies or so, and then like he like what would happen if he was a girl? Would he be perceived differently, and he would want to go like, you know, he would want to go further beyond, you know, passing the boundaries of the girls or so, because you know how like girls are super affectionate or so, right? When they see each other at TwitchCon or something like that, right? So is that, and you know, and all that stuff. Oh, hey Dark. Oh, thanks for the gifters. So, oh, the little green guy. Yeah. So he's basically, he wants to be a girl, but instead of doing like the procedures or so to become a girl, he identifies himself as gender fluid instead. And yeah, but he's still a guy though. He's still a guy, but he identifies himself as gender fluid. So at least from what I'm seeing, anyways.
they say, oh, I have a boundary where, for example, they don't want them to touch them. Well, if he was perceived as a girl, they might let him.
He goes by he/they. That's what he goes by. He goes by he/they. Hey, Diablo.
Touch them. And on top of that, with this whole thing, it directly says pretty much.
Because gender fluid, right? I didn't know about this specifically, right? Because gender fluid, I like I said, I don't know any of these other genders whatsoever. I was only taught girl and boy. That was it. That was all I was taught for. You were either born as a guy or born as a girl, okay? You either have a penis or a goddamn vagina. That's fucking it, okay? All right? That's all I basically learned. And specifically, so basically gender fluid, if I'm correct or something like that, I might be wrong or so, is where you can identify yourself as a guy one day, and I think you can change and you identify as a girl the next following day or something like that. That's basically is what gender fluid is, I think. I'm not too sure. I don't really know, to be honest, because I'm gonna be frankly honest with you. I was not taught that in school, okay? I was taught boy, girl. That's it, you know. That's all I was taught, you know. Back in the outer realms of high school or so, you were either a guy or you were a girl, and that was pretty much it, okay? There was none of this, you know, this weird stuff, you know. That's about it. He's using gender fluid as a reason to be treated like a girl without having any aspect of femininity. Yeah, he's not doing any of the procedures to be, you know, feminine, you know. He's just using gender fluid as in like, yeah, I can be a girl one day or I can be a guy the next following day, you know. So So he thinks being a woman equates to being allowed to touch anyone without consequences or the person's will. Apparently, this is what he thinks. He thinks, I don't know where he has seen this specifically. Apparently, he's seen it. This is what he said specifically, that he sees that other girls touching other girls in a very intimate way, apparently, or just touching in general, you know? And that's what he wants, basically. That's basically is what he wants in a nutshell. He wants what the girls have, basically. He wants to have that like kind of like touch I can touch any girl free card, basically. So something like that. He just basically like because like he wants to go past the like the board line, right? The borderline or so that girls have for guys or so specifically, right? He basically, because he sees like other girls go beyond that, right? And they do like the whole, you know, bi-curious lesbian shenanigans, you know, and then that's based that okay, I'm just gonna be honest with you. He just wants to bang a girl at the end of the day. So that's basically it.
Much where the point where they're stopped now, they might get past it if they're perceived as a girl. So like I said, coupling the tweet with this personal explanation makes a pretty weird standard, I would say. On top of that, you can just see like random screenshots like this. I think they're pretty telling, like constantly talking about girls and being lonely and trying to kind of fit in with the girlies, so to speak. But here's another tweet. This user sharing their own story alongside the...
Oh, I've never seen this one. I have not seen this one yet.
Google Doc here in the replies to that tweet saying, this person named Kimmy saying, I already put out my experiences with Toaster before, probably not in the best way, but I've been badmouthed for siding with an abuser simply because I didn't choose sides when two people I knew were going through a dispute. I was guilt-tripped and given ultimatums. I asked for proof as I was being made to choose between friends, one very new and one I'd known for a long time, but that just made me apparently side more with an abuser. And I read through these chat logs here, and basically Toaster was saying that this person was very abusive towards them, this friend in question, and basically said, you need to make a choice. It's me or your friend, and you got to make a choice. And this Kimmy person responds by saying, can I have some proof? Like, I would want to know what they're doing, where they, instead of giving proof, say, oh, well, you've picked a side. You picked the side of an abuser. And obviously that's a very serious thing that you can label someone as. And also they point out that around that time, they also lost a lot of mutuals and connections and was pretty much outcasted. And that is a concern a lot of people have raised in terms of their way of dealing with Toaster, because they are pretty connected. They collaborate with a lot of these shoujo members and other big streamers. So
yeah, that's the one thing that's kind of jarring or so, is that he collabs with like Shoujo, which one of them is Zentreya. I'm like, dude, how do you mess this up, you know? Like, I don't understand what's with these weird, like, bigger, like, indie VTubers, right? Like, he's not a massive indie VTuber, but he's a pretty decent size, right? To be able to collab with Zentreya, you know, right? In Apex and Apex Legends, right? And I'm like, how do you drop the ball so hard? I'm just like, I don't understand. I just don't understand that specifically. Why? What is going on with some of these VTubers specifically, just like messing up so hard once they made it big, you know? Like that, I'm okay to take the long road or so, right? You know, if I don't collab with anybody, you know, and people want, you know, and people just come in, you know, people come in and chat or so, and they want to take a look at my stream, but you know, they don't stay, that's fine. It's not a big deal at the end of the day. But for those who do actually stay and give me, you know, a piece of their time to hang out with me and check me out, you know, hey man, you know what, it goes a long way, you know, because I'll definitely remember you if you come by again, you know, because I'll be like, oh hey, I remember you, hey, you know, you came in on that one day or so specifically, you know. So like I'd rather take the long road or so with like people who come in and actually give me their time or so to come hang out with me specifically, than try to collab with someone and well uh, I guess like collab with like a bunch of people and then get their audiences and then blah 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 and then try to get a more successful VTuber career, I guess. But I think me personally, I just kind of like taking the long road. I kind of want to work my way from the bottom all the way up or so. I had like zero. I had like I had a few people. But they were my friends specifically. But that doesn't count, right? Like I'm talking about like actual people. I had like zero actual people, like strangers, right? Who came to check me out. Well, besides that, I was pretty terrible at advertising myself. So yeah, I was pretty terrible at advertising myself. So but yeah, I'd rather work my way from the bottom with one person at a time, one new viewer at a time. That's kind of like more better. So one new viewer at a time. Who comes to hang out with me. Even if it's for a little bit of time. That's fine. At least they gave me their time. And if I see them again, I'd be like, hey, hey, nice to see you again. Thanks for coming by or so. That means they they enjoy hanging out with me. If you give me at least like 10 minutes of your time, you're gonna have a good time hanging out with me at the end of the day. So I heard he was a pro Overwatch gamer or something, which usually has some leverage. So I tried to fact check this and immediately found a Reddit post from 6 years ago titled, "Why does everyone hate Evil Toaster? It has been going on for a long time." Really interesting. So this has been going for 6 years. That's interesting. The hate towards Toaster Man. Interesting. Interesting indeed. But yeah, I don't know. I just rather work my way, one new viewer at a time, I'm okay if it takes me a super long time to build up an audience, but you want to know something? That audience that I built up or so, those are my core fan base and they fucking love me and I build them up one at a time, and they came to hang out with me and I didn't get them from any other collaboration or anything like that. They came in here voluntarily to check me out. They gave me 5 to 10 minutes of their time. They enjoyed their stay here. And if I see them again, that means they enjoy hanging out with me. And that's pretty much frankly it. So
they're concerned that if they disagree with Toaster or they have some kind of a falling out, it might hurt their connections as in terms of their career. But also you might have noticed this section right here, and this goes a lot deeper than you might ever expect. So it says, "I was also told numerous times to get tested for autism as I showed signs."
Oh, I completely forgot about this. He likes I do love you, Ko. Hey, Acoustic. It's been a while since I've seen you. I'm here for the homies. Hey, I love you guys at the end of the day, okay? I truly do love you guys at the end of the day because you guys come here and hang out with me, you guys give me some of you guys' time, to come hang out, But this was one of the things I read specifically. He would literally tell people, hey, can you take this autism test? I want to find out if you have autism. Dude, it's so fucking crazy, to be honest. This guy literally gives people autism tests to find out if they have autism or not. I'm gonna be honest with you. It is kind of crazy in my personal opinion.
Yes, this is the thing we're going to see repeated with multiple people. Here's another example from the original poster of the Google Doc where
Here it is.
talking
Here it
about
is. Here it is.
Do you often examine your ability to appear and interact as a normal human? They're like analyzing them right now. And then down here saying, Sierra, do you have ADHD? And then after that, they send them a bunch of tests to see if they're on the spectrum. What friend does this, by the way?
I saw this.
The test. I
already did took the test already a long time ago. I saw this and then he'd be like, you're more artistic than me. Yeah. Making people take inaccurate tests to make himself feel better is crazy. I don't know. Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. I love it how he has this on the ready or so for this autism test and then gives it to people or so. Bro, if I ever interacted with this person and they gave me this autism test and be like, hey, I recommend start with this autism test. I'm gonna be like, no, I know for a fact I don't have autism. No, I'm not gonna take this dumb test, okay?
By the way, like, forces these tests onto someone who doesn't seem to want to take them and doesn't feel comfortable with these labels being attached to them. Obviously, like, I will make this very clear. There's nothing wrong, obviously, with having autism, but falsely
Yeah, exactly. And even then, like, these tests are not supposed to be taken serious. They're for jokes, They're not actual diagnoses, If you want an actual diagnosis, just go talk to a therapist or so. They'll diagnose you if you do have it or not,
people as having it, and continuing to push it onto people when they don't want that is weird. And that's, again, another boundary push. Here's another example of them referring to someone else as autistic.
Here it is. Here it is. Here it is.
Also saying that they passed the hot people test, referring to the test for it. And on top of that, an anonymous person, was apparently venting about insecurities, where Toaster replied with this: well, I have great news for you. Almost all the other VTubers are autistic too, implying that this person is autistic when they are not. And on top of that, there's a very long conversation here, but to sum it up essentially, Toaster says someone's head is empty. He enforces his own thoughts on what this person should do to a chatter, gets his mod team involved, and then questions why this person isn't loving towards him, but is to others. He also openly talks about how this person is autistic to someone else, even though the person in question is not diagnosed or identifies with this diagnosis. And here's another one saying, well, I'll listen along, you're autistic as heck, where the person says, no. So,
dude, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's crazy to be honest. What did you say regarding his endorsement of the collab feature and about the viewership? Is he hoping to essentially go into some girl's stream and use his viewership numbers to entice the girl or something, as if she was a whore of some kind? I have no idea. I don't know what his intentional gain or so was for this specifically,
So, yeah, you see this common thing of them constantly labeling people as autistic, even if they're not, and they feel comfortable doing that. However, they are policing others for things that I think are far less serious. So there's an individual who had a falling out with Toaster, and it had to do with comments they made on stream. They were in a
Oh, yes. Okay, so TLDR. He was in a collaboration with somebody, right? With two other people, I think, if I remember correctly. And then one of them made a joke specifically about her being short or something like that. And then they made some kind of illness, some mental illness joke specifically, right? And they both people kind of have, were kind of laughing specifically, but he didn't like that. He specifically did not like the mental illness joke. He was just kind of like, nah, fam, I'm offended from this.
Collab, and these two girls were making jokes that are a part of their communities, their shared communities, and one of them was talking about how the one girl is psychotic because she's short.
Yeah. See. I told you, chat. I was reading the document, so.
It's a joke they're both comfortable with. It's something that their communities are fine with. But Toaster had a big issue with this on stream and even carried this into private, where the person...
Here it is. Right here. The worst part about this specifically, the poor girl actually started crying or so. Like she felt like she was getting gaslit or so from this dude. Because he was getting, like, he was literally getting offended or so.
In question would profusely apologize, where Toaster would say, no one likes mental health related jokes. I added you in the chat earlier about PTSD jokes too, where they again apologize saying, yeah, sorry, I didn't fully understand it at first, and that's my bad. I'm used to different humor with others.
Oh, you know who Sheffy is? I don't know who Sheffy is, so I'll be honest with you. I don't know any other VTubers, to be frankly honest. I just mind my own business, to be frankly honest.
But I am really sorry. And they were probably saying, you should really be concerned about those others. So they do all that stuff with the autism and the labels on people. But then someone makes a joke about being psychotic, and they're getting
they're an owner of a VTuber group. Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting. For if you're a part of the community, you're allowed to make jokes about them. Well, apparently Sheffy and her friend or so are their community just makes fun of these kinds of types of jokes, right? But then this dude is like, nah, fam, I'm offended, bro. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I personally don't want to collab with somebody who's like that specifically, in my personal opinion. Like, if they're not okay with these kinds of jokes, I'm gonna be honest with you. I would never ever collab with them ever again after that first encounter. Nah, I'm okay. Nah, no thank you.
the finger wagged in their face, and they're getting shamed in private, and the apology isn't even being accepted, and they're making them feel bad and guilty about these other people they've used different humor with in the past. And here's another claim where they're trying
Oh, what the fuck? I don't know. I don't even know what this one is.
to police. Toaster was trying to police other people's behavior, and this is quite possibly the craziest one. So this individual says, years ago, he would minority police me to insane standards. I was in a dark place at the time, stuck in an abusive relationship. And if I showed frustration on stream to the extent of, man, where is my team? Nothing vile, he would send DMs, not asking, hey friend, are you okay? But rather giant essays on how I'm a disappointment to the community, how I'm letting people down, people of color, gay folks, and more importantly, making him look bad to his sponsors that he once recommended to me. He's thrown me and several friends of mine under the bus with this sort of behavior, and funnily enough, it's always been minority streamers. There was a PMA police energy around him with his crew, which spits in the face of authenticity, because God forbid minorities be anything less than perfect and happy all the time.
Whoa. 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 I did not know about this one, to be honest. I did not see this, to be honest. Holy shit. Hey, EXO. Holy fuck. Are you serious? You would send DMs of not asking, hey, friend, da da da. I am disappointed to the community. I'm a disappointment to the community how I'm letting down people of color, gay folks, and more importantly, making him look bad to his sponsors that he once recommended me to. He's throwing my behavior, funnily enough, as soon as wait. He threw my friends, several friends of mine under the bus with this sort of behavior, and funnily enough, it's always been minority streamers. Bro, if this motherfucker, I don't take shit from nobody, okay? I'm gonna be honest with you. I be fucking Latina like this, like that. I will not take shit from nobody. I don't give a fuck how big of a streamer you are. If you actually throw me under the bus, oh, you swear to God, I will fucking half-ass you Latina style. Like, no joke, to be honest. I will fucking forbid me to God you do not see me angry. Oh my God, I am a menace to deal with if you piss me off like really badly or so. Hell no, I don't care. I really do not care how big of a streamer you are. You treat me like this, bro. I'm about to rip you a new asshole. That's all I gotta say, you know. If this is how they think minority streamers act, probably a good reason why no one cares then. Oh man, I'm sure he's the only guy being banned from Pornhub. I don't know.
Minorities be anything less than perfect and happy all the time. And we would see another claim about power dynamics, and we saw kind of some people hinting towards this, that because Toaster is well connected and an established creator, people were afraid of speaking about anything because they might burn bridges, and he might...
Man, I don't give a fuck, man. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't give a fuck, okay? Because you want to know something? I ain't trying, you know, I'm gonna build my own connections, okay? I'm gonna build my own bridges to these sponsorships and all this other shit, you know? It's called doing it one piece at a time, you know? Building one part of the bridge at a time, you know? That's about it. I ain't gonna rely on somebody for them to get me like the sponsorship or something like that, you know? Because you want to know something? I don't care if you gave me the sponsorship or you butter them up or so to give me a sponsorship. If you do some shit behind the scenes, I will call your ass out. I don't care if I burn a bridge with you. If you do something that's unacceptable, you bet your ass I will call your ass out on it. I don't care, okay? I do not care. I do not condone any of these shenanigans that he does specifically. And if I was friends with this person and he like helped me out or so to get sponsorships and shit like that, and then I find out that he's been doing this, you know for a damn fact I'll be calling his ass out immediately. Immediately. I don't care what kind of bridge burns, but you want to know something? I give two rats ass because you want to know something? I build my community from the ground up with my own two hands.
Go out and talk badly about them. And we see some of these examples here, like this one, where he's kind of...
Oh, this is it, chat. This is it. This is the Valorant one. Oh my god, this is the Valorant one that I told you specifically. And he says, if you feel like playing with Zen, that is otherwise, yeah, I'll log into Valo. And it says, and then Kisa says, I unfortunately don't have Apex on my little bro's PC. The internet is a bit slow here. It's so the download would take a bit. But you and Zen can play Apex. And then he says, logging into Valorant then.
Dangling a collab opportunity with Zentreya and kind of shaming this person for wanting to play some other different game because if they played this certain game, then they could get the collab. It was just like a very strange thing, and I understand why people would be afraid of upsetting someone in a position like he has. And here's the conclusion. I mean, pretty much wrapping up what we talked about here. And I think the one section here is pretty interesting where they're talking about how their Toaster plays like a perpetual victim, that their identity and how they're perceived is ruining their chances for developing relationships and all these things. But in reality, it's because he
literally completely fucks himself over for relationships and shit like that. Cause like in one of the goddamn screenshots or so, one of the VTuber girls actually confessed saying that I love you and everything like that, you know. But he doesn't fucking reciprocate the feelings. So. So what is this dude? So what is this guy even after at the end of the day? What is he trying to? What are you looking for? Huh? Are you trying to find the one or something? Bro, there's like literally one VTuber girl literally confessed to you.
He keeps pushing boundaries and making people uncomfortable. And that's why people distance themselves from Toaster. So there's no boogeyman going around trying to demonize you and ruin your life. You're doing that on your own. Now, a lot of people in that document also said there is a very low chance he's going to publicly address anything, even though there's thousands upon thousands of likes on the Google Doc and also related tweets criticizing him. And this is his latest tweet. It looks like he's gone dark. It's been 2 days since he's tweeted anything, and all the replies are basically saying,
oh no, it looks like they're exposing you. I'm glad to see it. I can't wait to see the squirming you'll do. Does this game let me flood any and all the streamers' notifications with collab requests with automatic opt-in? If not, I'm out. Damn, bro, you messed up big time. Sup, creep? Step down as Twitch ambassador. We don't have to try the game that a loser creep person recommends. Damn, dude. He's trying to become one of the girlies with the girls. God damn it, dude. Oh god. The only girly time I have with is with Natsuko from time to time, Mikon from time to time. I know I interacted with a little bit with Rainy or so. Riri or Rinrin, Riri. I don't know. It's been such a long time too as well. EXO is also another of them too. What's her name? I've interacted with her too specifically, but it's been a hot minute. What is her name again? Shoko is another of them specifically. I also interact with. I am terrible with fucking. Oh, I think cause she changed her. It's cause I think she changed her name again. But she went by Emily. I might be wrong or something like that. I hang out with Chizuru. Chizuru is also I've spent time with. And these are all VTuber friends. These are all I'm just saying specifically VTuber friends. So all the people that I just named specifically, those are my girly times or so, my girl times or so with them. Specifically who I hang out with. No Liddell. Liddell is a guy. And Liddell hasn't even messaged me even once, okay? All right? I told Liddell, hey, Liddell, you can message me at any time you want. Liddell has not messaged me not a single bit, okay? Don't blame me. Blame Liddell, okay? All right? I told him my DMs are open at any time, but Liddell has not messaged me, so don't look at me specifically. I didn't say it's not me, okay? All right? But yeah, so those are basically specifically like my girly, my girly time. Those are my girl hours. I'll message them. I'll message them specifically, I'll be like, hey, how you been? If it's been a while or so, I haven't spoken to them to a hot minute, I'll be like, hey, how you been? What's up? Or I'll just put an emote or something like that, I usually start off with an emote most of the damn time. And I'd be like, hey, how you been? I hope you've been doing well. Or if the one that like is always occupied all the damn time, because they fucking disappear like in a month or two is Rin or so. Riri. Rin, Riri. I can't tell specifically right now, but I usually send them like, here's your monthly, or like here's your support and love. I hope you're doing well, and then that's pretty much about it. That's basically is what I send them? Question mark? I think. Let me see. What was the last message I sent them? Oh yeah. Sending love to make sure you are okay. And then I sent a previous one saying wellness check. for shits and giggles. But yeah. She has a tendency of not messaging back or so. And it's like, it's fine. It's not really a big deal at the end of the day. As long as she's doing a-okay, and I see her sometimes, post on Twitter, that means she's doing okay, and that makes me a little bit happy, because we're like, okay, she's doing fine. I'm glad, thank God, because sometimes I do get a little bit worried, and be like, oh shit, I hope she's doing okay and shit, so that's pretty much about it.
Saying, bro, you messed up. Are you gonna say anything? And yeah, we got radio silence, so. At this point, I don't know if we're gonna hear any responses, but that's
okay. So they are okay. So this is how they say, right? They're autistic/AD. They have autistic/ADHD. They're non-binary. I have no idea what non-binary is, but gender fluid is the one that I learned recently, and they are he/they. I think, if I remember correctly.
That's gonna do it for this video.
They.
I hope you guys were informed on some things, and as always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
So yeah,
so there was a post
so specifically, right? Hold on, let me go a little bit back real quick.
Hey, what's up, guys? We're here. So today we're gonna be.
So yeah, at the end of the day, right? This person is literally using gender fluid or so to try to be part of the girlies, because I guess he doesn't have homies, I guess, question mark. I'm like, it's not like I have friends, I have guy friends and I have girlfriends, like seriously, like I hang out, I hang out whoever wants to hang out at the end of the day, if I want to hang out with EXO, I hang out with EXO. If I want to hang out with Sage, I hang out with Sage with his wife, right? Or if I want to hang out with Animated or so, I hang out with Animated. Animated is another person that I hang out with too as well. I also have a few other guy friends too, specifically that I hang out in VR chat. I sometimes hang out with them specifically, so. But non-binary means you go for girls and guys. Oh, wait. So that means they're bisexual? Non-binary means they don't fall into the category of male or female, but also gender fluid, meaning any gender. Wait. So they're non-binary. They don't fall into male or female. But gender fluid, you can be any gender. Isn't that just a big contradiction to itself? Like you're just basically canceling yourself. Like you're just canceling like your non-binary shit. This oh yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, that is so dumb. Like okay, if you're non-binary, that's fine. You know, that's fine, right? But then if you put your gender fluid as well, you just kind of canceled non-binary. So non-binary just doesn't make any sense at that point because you have gender fluid. Because gender fluid cancels out non-binary. Man, bro, this shit's so dumb. This shit is so dumb, to be honest. But anyways, that's the end of the video. You know, you guys can comment, like, subscribe, you know, do all that fancy jazzy stuff, and yeah, it's very interesting to see another, you know, another massive VTuber going down the drain, I guess, you know. Bruce is just right. I'm gay, but I only go after girls. Yeah, at least at that point, you know, or just say you're bisexual at the end of the day or something. I don't know. Some shit, man. It's just a lot of words to describe something that masks something else. I feel like they make these like weird extra steps or so specifically, like, because apparently there's one for bisexual, right? Like there's another version of it, right? But it's like completely different, so it's its own thing. But it still is like the definition of still bisexual though, but it's not. So yeah, so I don't know specifically, right? Like I said, I grew up in the outer realms. You know, you're either a boy or you're a girl. You have a penis or you have a vagina. That's it. That is literally all I learned. Okay. There was no such thing as non-binary, gender fluid, or they and them, whatever, I don't know, whatever other, I don't know, whatever other specifically other terms there are, to be honest. So, but then he tried to find where people were at via Facebook posts and creeped a lot of people out, probably. But yeah, anyways, it's very interesting to be taking a look at this specifically on this situation in and of itself. He knew exactly what he was doing. Come on, let's not be stupid here, okay? He's pretending to be, you know, one of the girls, you know, being a girl, you know, to be part of the girlies and to be able to touch them and to be able to go further beyond the borders, you know, the line or so, right? To do, you know, inappropriate things, basically. You know, that was his end game, what he was trying to do, you know? But, you know, bro just wanted to hang out with the homies, the girl homies. But, yeah, you know, so he failed the I'm a gentleman, so he went, I want to be with the girls. I guess so, I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't even know at the end of the day. You know, it's just... But yeah, like I said specifically, this is one of the reasons why I just don't associate with the VTuber community, just because you have people like this behind the scenes. You know, we don't know what they are behind the scenes. You don't know when the camera turns off. You don't know how they're gonna be like that or so. You know, this person just got exposed by their behaviors of trying to, like, you know, getting like this person was so needy and wanted affection or so, and then, you know, saying it's like, oh, I wanted to be part of the girlies, you know, and the affection and all this other stuff and blah 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 blah. It just sounds like a very depressed, lonely 30-year-old person who is on the internet for such a long time and doesn't go out and touch grass or go do something else. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you, I've been working out and I've been feeling great, to be honest. I've been so fantastic, to be honest. I feel so good working out or so. It feels great. Granted, I'm sore as shit, but like I feel great, to be honest. Like I said, I'm on the road or so to get the cosplay body figure or so I could do cosplay and do some photo shoots and do some fun stuff like that. So, but anyways, that's the end of the video. I don't want to keep rambling on anyway. And you guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff, and yeah, you can I'm gonna go be I'm gonna go try to see if I can hang out with the dude homies and try to touch each other's dicks, and yeah, that's the end of the video. And